All right, let's take you back to Boksburg, where the ANC Veterans League National Elective Conference has concluded, with President Cyril Ramaphosa delivering the closing remarks. Juniour Khumalo is in Boksburg and joins us now. Good afternoon to you, Juniour. Key highlights from ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa at the end of that conference.
Good afternoon, Hugo. Before the President delivered the keynote address, there was a declaration that was made by the newly elected ANC Veterans League President Snuki Zikalala. He spoke about how the ANC veterans had resolved that the ANC should get out of its coalition partnership, particularly with the EFF. He said that that coalition partnership is not helping anyone, not the ANC's image and not the citizens of the regions where this coalition is happening. He also spoke about how the Veterans League had also spoken about how money is being used to buy votes at ANC conferences, and that this is something that needs to stop in the party. When the President finally took to the podium, he responded to some of these things when he spoke about how the ANC seeks to win the elections outright when it comes to next year's elections. He, however, did not touch on the coalition partnership with the EFF. He just spoke about how going into next year's elections, every structure of the ANC should work towards winning elections outrightly and not depending on coalition partnerships. He also spoke in detail about how the party is dealing with corruption. He said that the party had in previous years been used by some members as a space where they can benefit from the organization instead of serving the people of South Africa. So he said this is being dealt with. He spoke about how some of the cases apparently from state capture are being investigated and are being prosecuted right now. So it was a very lengthy response by the ANC president to some of the concerns that were raised by the Veterans League, Hugo.
Okay, so clearly a number of issues that were raised. Now, one of those issues that I found quite interesting is the issue around gender-based violence and the challenge that President Cyril Ramaphosa has put to the ANC veterans to deal with that issue.
Yes, he spoke about gender-based violence and said, as the elders of the ANC, not just the ANC but the country, the Veterans League was in a better position to try and advise on how best to deal with this issue. He spoke about how the Veterans League were entitled to raise their concerns, not just on when they see gender-based violence happening, but when they see any wrongdoing happening within the organization and within society. He said they should know that they are not just sitting on the sidelines, but their input was valuable to the party and to South Africa. Hugo.
Now, ironically, President Cyril Ramaphosa acknowledging some of the challenges that the ANC has. In fact, he drew comparison to the failure for the ANC in many conferences to be as organized as the ANC veterans. One of those issues that he raised, as well as critique some of the other challenges that the ANC is facing.
Yes, so he said if the Veterans League had played a more critical role, then some of the challenges that the ANC finds itself faced with might have not happened. He said, given the age of some of these Veterans League, because anyone to be a member of the Veterans League, you need to be 60 years and above. So he said, given their age, when they comment on issues that are happening within the ANC, they're not doing so because they're trying to get positions in the party or in government. They're doing so out of a duty because they have been in the ANC for that long. They know the culture and the ethos of the ANC. So their input in during some of these big incidences that have affected the party would have actually helped the ANC navigate some of these challenges better. And he spoke about how he would like to see the newly elected president, Snuki Zikalala, taking up a more active role in political education. He said political education of the party's members is one way of trying to root out the corruption, root out the ills that have plagued some of the members of the ANC, Hugo.
Now, Juniour, before we let you off the hook, let's talk about the mandate of the Veterans League, if you will, in relation to now that when Snuki Zikalala walks into the NWC and the NEC, as the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa mentioned, he would have a given mandate. Just how much influence and power can we expect the Veterans League to have on the matters of the ANC?
Snuki Zikalala, leading up to the National Elective Conference of the ANC last year, was very vocal about some of the challenges that the party was plagued by. He spoke a lot about the Phala incident that actually affects the president himself. And not just him alone, his deputy, Mavuso Msimang, was also very vocal. He said the fact that the president found himself in such a situation was a shame, brought a lot of shame to the party. And he encouraged not only the ANC, but the ANC veterans during that time to voice out these concerns. So we expect these two individuals to raise these issues without fear when it comes to NEC meetings, when it comes to NWC meetings going forward. We also expect them to intervene not only at a national level, but Snuki Zikalala said that he encourages all the ANC veterans to go to every ANC branch, whether regional, whether provincial, and offer their advice. So we expect them to intervene at every level of the ANC going forward, Hugo.
Juniour Khumalo, appreciate your time coming to us from Boksburg, where the ANC Veterans League 3-day elective conference has ended with an address, a keynote address from the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa.